I'm so excited to be back again with another video, and today we have some special guests in my channel. Criticism has its own advantages and disadvantages in our life. At some point of time in our life, we are being judged or we are being criticized. Sometimes it will be difficult to accept it, but it all depends on your reaction. So today I have asked some of our young pioneers and achievers in various fields who have made a mark and break barriers to answer on how to deal with criticism.
As an entertainer, criticism has always been part and parcel of the entertainment world. While some are good, some are bad. Destructive criticisms are the ones you should watch out. They are aimed at you to bring you down, to shame you, so better not listen to them. On the other hand, the constructive criticisms are the ones that shows you rooms where you can improve yourself. And if you imply that in your life, I think it can do wonders. So that's my take on criticism.
Criticisms have positive as well as negative. Negative criticisms comes mostly out of jealousy. We must know how to differentiate between the positive criticisms and the jealousy criticisms, taking forward the positive and leaving behind the negative criticisms.
So yes, how do I deal with criticisms? It's very easy. Just ignore it, and because most of the criticisms are just baseless, just hopeless ones. So if they are constructive ones, work on that and take it and use that as a tool to grow yourself stronger. But most of the criticisms are just for the sake of saying, so just ignore it.
It actually depends on whether the criticism is coming from a friend, family, or the society. And then I try to decide if it's valid or no, because I've always been someone who takes criticism as an opportunity to build myself, make myself better, and also inspire people. And I think I suggest everyone should do that. And one thing you should remember in life is you cannot please everyone.
Thank you, Ayen, for the time. Talking about how I handle or tackle with criticisms, we all know in this day and age of information explosion and the influence of the social media, where everybody has something to say or so much to say, and there are certain people who loves to make loud noises, and let alone the public figures or the prominent or the eminent personalities, but even a common person is subjected to constant barrage of applause and criticisms, and nobody is immune. No matter what you say or do, there will always be a group of people who will still love you, encourage you to do better, and also give constructive criticisms when required. But there will always be those people, the naysayers and your haters, who will always humiliate you, defame you, and who will always be there to discourage you with your negative vibes or criticisms. So sometimes things just gets blown out of its proportion, and you are often misunderstood and misconstrued. And I admit it's not always easy for anyone to just take all the criticisms and the negative vibes thrown your way, and we are trolled, we are shamed and blatantly criticized. But what I've learned is that no matter what you do, you should be able to distinguish between what's worthy of being accountable and answerable for, and what's not worth your time and attention. And I've also learned to take everything in its stride. No doubt, people are given the freedom of speech, and influencers of any kind do have a moral obligation to be responsible and accountable for. But having said that, we people should as well not misuse or abuse the fundamental right that has been given to us. I would also like to point out that we should all try to practice certain kinds of etiquettes and netiquettes in our conduct today. And lastly, since we are all human beings and nobody can be perfect, so we cannot always walk the line, you know. And so, of course, we must know when to be, you know, genuinely remorseful of our wrongdoings and try to make amends. But at the same time, I'm one person who believes that we cannot please everybody, and I never try to do that. So it's just a matter of intelligent or wise decisions and choices at the end of the day.
I live in a society where I am immensely insecure because no matter the good things that I do or the mistakes that I make, I get criticized for both. I live in a society where I fear to share doing things that I love and making me feel happy, fear for body shaming, hated by people on social platforms, by people that I've never known or have met. I live in a society where nominal Christians are in the four corners, easily judgmental, in competition themselves with other people, loves to talk and ignorant to prove. I live in a society where less inspiration, no motivation, rarely constructive opinions, and none ready to help. I also live in a society where your own thoughts will accuse you, and other times your enemy will use other people to attack you. I grew up in an environment where I was taught to do anything and everything that is good and pleasing in the sight of the Lord and not to the society. And that's how I learned to appreciate and love everyone around me. Because the way you think and your attitude also demonstrate and show who lives in within. And because the higher a man is in grace, the lower he will be in his own self-esteem. Other people's opinion does not determine your potential, or what other people say about you does not change on what God has placed on the inside. People don't determine your destiny either, but God does. People seek reputation, but God seeks testimony. And we never know that God was breaking them to mold and shape them to be a testimony. So let's remember that God can turn greatness out of a great mess, and stop underestimating or criticizing other people unless we pretend to be a perfect being ourselves. Let's all learn to seriously change the way we think to impact the way we want it in the society, and stop overlooking, stop disappointing, stop criticizing and judging, and let's start correcting, start helping, loving, and join hands in making a difference.
So guys, that is the end of my video. Please don't forget to share